Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Cindy.
And we're here with another Feeding Frenzy for the 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity, a simple guide to unlimited abundance.
You go, girl.
By Edwin Keynes.
Wow.
We didn't have to wait till the end.
We're only halfway done.
I finally got it.
Hey, you're funny. Okay, so we're still talking about goals. We're still on chapter 4, is it? Well, it's a long chapter. Yes, chapter 4. And we have been now saying the goals 3 times in the morning, 3 times at night for a couple of days now, and that feels really good.
It does feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I've had a couple of realizations with that,
Okay.
too. Is that once, since we make a list that first day of every goal we can imagine, and then once it makes it to that short list, then it's pretty much a done deal. Because for me, that's saying this is the most important thing in my life right now. And if it's something that I already have the ability to acquire, then there's no reason for it not to be a done deal.
Yeah.
So, like, for instance, the mowing the yard and the, what was another one of the small ones we
New
had?
tennis shoes.
New tennis shoes, and just little things like that, new bathing suits, and those kind of things. If those are the most important things in our lives, why are we just going ahead and putting those above some of the other things we're paying for already? You know? They're just more important to us right now than anything else that we're footing the bill for.
Right.
So it's a done deal once it makes it to that list. Now, some of the other bigger things are a little more of a stretch, and we'll have to work towards those. And then we'll probably end up staying on that list a lot longer than the smaller ones. But that was just a big realization to me to realize, okay, if I want this so bad, why don't I just go get it if I have the means to do that?
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. You know, some of those goals I'm thinking, it's just like saying, I really, really want to brush my teeth.
Yeah. Well, just go do it.
Go brush your teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I was looking at that and I'm thinking, why am I saying I want brand new shoes 3 times a day?
So it also
Go get the shoes.
It brings up the question of why haven't I done that already?
Yeah.
You know, if that's what I really, really want to do, why haven't I done it already?
Yeah.
Now that does bring up the question of, excuse me, what do I have to give up to get that?
What do I have to change?
What do I have to change or give up
Or
to
give
get
up.
that? In
In
other
order to
words,
get
if
it.
I've got so much
Right.
money in my budget and I want this new pair of shoes, then I'm going to have to take that from one of my other buckets, you know. So what am I willing to skimp on a little bit, you know, whether that's, you know, the grocery budget or whatever.
Yeah.
So it does help you balance it.
Yeah.
Is this more important than my workout budget, you know?
Right.
So it's just a matter of what's
Well,
really
it
important.
really pulls into reprioritizing them and looking at what we have been, what is already in the budget, and looking at, is this really, is it worth it? Staying here?
Right. Is it worth, do I really want the new shoes bad enough to give up something I already have?
Right.
And if I do, then, or what if I want to keep them all? What if I want to keep them both? Then I've just got to stretch my goals or stretch my imagination to make a little more money. And that's not hard to do in this day and age. It's easy to make a little more.
So how do you do that?
For me, I got to go get another client, you know?
We go give more.
And we go give more, which will bring in more clients.
Right. We go give more. When we go and give more, when we go and serve more, then more comes to us.
Right.
And you
So-
think, this is such a no-brainer.
Right.
Why am I-
As we've talked,
But you know what? It also, too, doing that 3 times a day in the morning and then 3 times at night really keeps the excitement up about it.
it really does. And I wake up thinking about it now.
Yeah.
And
I
I go to
dreamed
bed
about
thinking
it.
about it.
Yeah, I had a dream about it, and I thought, "Ooh, this is a really good sign."
Yeah.
I'm really moving it to the forefront because you know now I'm dreaming about it. Ooh, good, even when I'm sleeping, you know, and so it's a good thing. It really is.
Very good.
And it
thing.
keeps the excitement way high.
And I like the way when we don't just read the goals, we feel them.
And dream it
And
at the same time.
And we talk
because it's
about
not
it as
just
if it's
a
already
list.
done.
It's not just a list that we read over. It's because every time we read over it, we're adding something new. Like the first one, we had a small trip that we wanted to take. We couldn't even narrow it down to more than just a couple of months, you know, span of time. And by the time we had repeated several times, we worked up the excitement to now this is when we're going to go.
Right. To a specific date.
To a specific day.
Or within a week.
Yeah.
And, and I can see it more clearly the more we go over it. I can see exactly when we're going to go to to a certain place and when we're going to be at a certain friends, and
Mhm.
you know, it just becomes more clear and more clear each time we do it. So I think that's a really important part that I have failed to put in the past. I wanted to touch on a couple of things that really stood out to me when we read this, and one of them was about Jesus, and that he was a healer, and he could have healed the whole world if he wanted to, and yet who did he heal?
Just those who ask.
Just those who ask. And again, I think it goes back to that. We have to put energy into stuff if we want others to join us in that energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it goes back to talking about judgment, and God created all things good.
Yes.
We're the ones who put the judgment on
Yes.
it.
Yes.
And so therefore God has already given us everything that's here.
Mm-hmm.
We're the ones that get to pick and choose.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not going to force any of it on us.
No.
Because I think he created us different and with different perspectives to enjoy certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And so until we ask for it, it's not going to be given
Right.
to us.
Right.
But once we say, oh, I really like this part of what he created, then he helps us get it even quicker than we could ever imagine.
Yeah.
But we have to put forth the effort to ask for it and say, that's what I want, and that's what I want. We have this smorgasbord of stuff before us, and all we have to do is say,
Just choose.
I want that and that and that on my plate. And then God will go to work to make that happen. So,
You know, seeing it laid out there like a smorgasbord, you know, it's also still not going to be brought to our table.
right?
You can sit and say, yeah, I want that, that, and that, and that. But until we get up and get the plate and go in and line up in the line
Right?
and actually dish it out
And put some energy in
and
it.
put some actual energy into it,
Take
you know,
the first
we're
step.
not going to see it.
Right. That reminds me of a story about, and I've probably told this before, about the lady who was walking down the street, and she walked by this beautiful garden. And there was a man out in the garden working in the garden, and she said, isn't that a beautiful garden that God has created? And the guy stood up and he said, ma'am, you should have seen it last year before I started helping God out. You know?
Yeah.
We've got to do our part. We've
Yeah.
got to jump in there and put
Yeah.
the energy into something before we can see it manifested in this physical realm.
Yes.
So the other thing
And
was...
so that's why goals are so important. I love the way
Uh-huh.
she put it when she was talking about directed faith.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what it is. It's the knowing that what I ask for doesn't fall on deaf ears. It's going out there, it's creating the energy, it's starting the ball rolling, so
Right.
to speak. And having the faith that it's coming. I'm going to do my part of the dance, but it's coming.
Right.
And so I'm just simply directing my faith. And I
Right.
liked what she
I like
said.
that one. I also like the one about her brother who was determined to get the pony, and he went and got the gear for the horse and got everything just ready for that horse.
Well, there was just no way you were going to talk him out of it. And that is that kind of strong, directed
Determination.
faith and determination that's actually going to bring it. And so if we can get that way about a pair of tennis shoes on our goal list, then we're going to get that way and can be that way
About
and
the
direct
big
that faith about the big things.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So we have to get that point of knowing it's already ours. I like what she said. Somebody said, can I put I want more love in my life? And she says, honey, you've already got all the love that you're ever going to get. And that's true. We've already got all the stuff
Everything
we
we
ever
need is here.
We just have to claim it.
Yes.
We just have to acknowledge the fact that it is ours. And then use it.
Charles Fillmore, and I'm going to have to paraphrase because I can't do it from rote memory, but Charles Fillmore once said that it makes sense that the Creator would be around or give forth in a substance so that anybody that called on it could build from it or could pull from it. And so it makes sense that everything we need is already here.
Right.
We don't have to wait for it.
Right. We already have all the knowledge we need. We already have all the wisdom we need. We already have all the faith we need. You know, we all have...
You know, Google proved that.
Well, yeah.
If you don't know the answer to the question, you Google it, right?
That's right.
Well, Google didn't just appear. It was a compilation of everybody who had the particular answer to that adding to it. So it became a database. It wasn't just something that somebody pulled out of the air and then all of a sudden, we can ask Google, you know. It's just a good representation of it's already here.
Right.
We just got to pull it together.
Yep. All right, now tell me a story about a goal you set and then got it.
once I had left the marriage and was still struggling, I still wanted to give my kids something. And I really wanted to give them something special. And we had been to Holiday World. It's an amusement park several times, and they absolutely loved it. And I really enjoyed going with them too. And so I really, really wanted to go. And I decided, okay, this is a good teachable moment, you know, to help them visualize and help me, you know, get to it. I'm going to ask them to help me pull this one off, and we're going to watch it work together. So we made a vision board. I'd made a vision board and found on a thing of loaf of bread. There's an actual coupon on there that you could enter to win 2 tickets to Holiday World. Okay, so I actually cut the thing out and placed it on the dream board and told the kids, this is really what I want to do. I really want to do this with you guys, but you got to help me see it. And we're going to do whatever it is that we need to do. We're going to win these 2 tickets. Okay. So I went to the store and I got another loaf of bread, which had another one on there, and it said something about, it's been a couple of years ago, so I'm trying to remember, something about you can enter so many times a week, and all you need is your name, your address, and your telephone number on a 3x5 card. And so I prayed about it. And, you know, I told the kids, I'm treating this serious, as if this was, you know, medicine you needed. You know, this is going to be a serious goal, and I need you praying with me. Okay. So I would get up every day and I'd ask, okay, what do I need to do today in order to bring this one? And I would get the answer. Send 10 cards. Okay, so I'd sit down and I'd write out 10 of those cards.
Wow.
And I'd put them in an envelope and I'd send them. And I'd get up the next day. Okay, how many cards do I need to send today? Now I was catching the tail end of this contest, and I wasn't real sure, not 100% sure that I hadn't already missed the chance. But I thought, nope, this is what I really want. I want this for the kids. I'm going to keep going. So every day I'd get up and ask, how many cards do I need to send today? So for that week, I got up every day, and the answer would be in between 10 and 20 cards.
Oh, my goodness.
So I would send that many cards
Wow.
every day, faithfully, and I'd stick it in the mailbox. Well, by the time I got to the last day of the contest, I got up again and I asked how many cards, and the answer was 2. I thought, well, that's weird. It's been 10 and 20 all week. Okay, I'm going to listen. The answer was 2, so I filled out 2 more cards and I sent them off. I didn't hear anything. The contest ended probably in March. Well, it was probably May, and I still hadn't heard anything. And I thought, well, it didn't work, and I'm just going to have to go by and tell the kids, this one didn't work. We'll just have to keep asking what we need to change. And I came home, and we were having a difficult day. I don't remember exactly what was going on, but it was another fight between me and their dad, and we were having a difficult day. And I pulled back in, and there was a package on the front porch from UPS, and I had not ordered anything. I couldn't afford to order anything, so it was a total surprise. And the kids asked me, Mom, what is this? I don't have any idea what it is. Let's go in and open it up. So we opened up the box, and inside was a t-shirt, and it had Bunny Bread on there. And I thought, oh, look, we did win something from the contest. We won a t-shirt. How cool is that? All right, so it wasn't a bust. We did actually win. And so I opened up, you know, they had a few papers in there and had an envelope, and I opened up the envelope and opened up the letter, and it said, thank you so much for entering, and your name has been chosen. It was a standard form letter, you know. And as soon as I opened up the rest of it, there was 2 tickets to Holiday World. Well, not only had we won the t-shirt, but we also won 4 coupons for free bread, free Bunny Bread, the 2 tickets to Holiday World, and 2 tote bags to go with it.
And some beach towels.
And some
right?
beach towels. I forgot about that. And some beach towels. So it wasn't that we just won the 2 tickets. We won the whole thing.
The whole thing, yeah.
The whole thing. So that lit their eyes, you know, and they began that day deciding, we're doing our own dream boards. This stuff really works. Look, Mom got a car, and she did the thing with Holiday World. So it was a really cool time.
Wow.
It was really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That's cool.
Now, I would have been just as happy with the t-shirt. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
But to find out that I
Right.
won the whole thing, oh, that was
Right.
that
And I
was
think
cool.
that sort of touches on another point, is that once we put those prayers out there or visualize those dreams, then we sort of need to become just detached.
Yes.
And not
And
hang
I
on
did.
to it.
And I did.
I
I
mean,
had to
not
just
that we
let it go.
shouldn't be determined.
Yeah.
There's a difference in being determined
No,
and letting
I
it affect
just-
our emotions.
Yeah. Once I sent those last 2 cards off, what she talks about, I just knew in that moment, okay, I have done everything that I need to
Right.
do.
You know, when
And
it's
I'm just
done.
going to let it go. And if it happens, that's great, you know. But I knew, because it was only 2 at that time, and it felt complete, that I'm done with what I needed to
Right.
do. Now, I was open. If I'd have gotten another nudge, I would have followed it. But that was it.
Wow. So prayer works and the goals work.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I could go on with all kinds of stories about how
Yeah.
they've worked in the past.
Yeah.
But it works.
It really works.
It was really good stuff.
Really good stuff.
Sure.
Stream.